This video is another video in my video series where I'm going over my entire Notion workspace, and in this video I'm going to talk about my projects database and how I manage all of my projects in Notion. In a previous video I went over my dashboard, so I'm not going to go over my dashboard in much depth, but you can see I have my task database linked in my dashboard for all of the tasks I need to do for today. But in that task database, I can see all of the projects that are related to those tasks. So you can see I have different video projects, I have my dissertation, and I have a blog that I'm going to be writing. If we go into my projects area, which is actually a page in my areas database, again, I went over my areas database in a previous video, but this is actually a page in my areas database called projects. And this has my projects database linked numerous different times to help me see lots of different information. The first view I have in this project area is actually my active projects. So what I've done is I've filtered my projects database with the formula property left is not equal to 0, so that is how many tasks I have left. So if there's more than 0 tasks left, i.e. there is something left to do, then show, and the due date is within the next week. So I'm not seeing all of the projects that I've planned out for, I'm just seeing the projects that I still have tasks to do that's due in the next week. Then the properties I'm choosing to show are how many tasks I have left, so you can see 1, 2, and then I have my progress, which is again another formula property. And that formula property actually works on a percentage basis. So what this is doing is looking at the tasks, the total tasks of the project, the tasks that I have done, and then working out a percentage. So if it's 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, it will give a different color emoji for the percentage of the progress of the project, depending on how many tasks I have completed. So the more tasks I have, the more tasks I need to complete, so the harder it is to move up those color gradients. Then as we move across the dashboard, I have my recently due projects. And the reason I have this here mainly is to see if there are any projects that are recently due, i.e. projects that were due in the last week that aren't actually completed. This way I can see straight away from coming into this dashboard that I'm either overdue or behind on a specific project. And what this is showing me is every single project, so it's not being filtered for anything. So all of the projects that I have done and that I'm doing and that I plan to do are all being shown. And the emoji at the bottom of the name of the project is the progress. So you can see I have a green tick, I have green dots, red dots, all signifying the progress of that project. Now when I go into a project, you can actually see I have a time left formula as well. And what this does is tell me how much time I have left before the project's due. So for this specific project, it's actually due today, which is what it's telling me. It's due today with a yellow warning mark. Then if we go across to a different project, you can see time left. This one's actually due for tomorrow, which you can see on the calendar. But when we go into another project, it actually tells me how many weeks and days I have left before the project's due. Now I could just look at the due date, 18th of September, but for me, just looking at that going 2 weeks, 2 days, gives me a better idea of how long I have left to do that project. I don't actually share this formula anywhere in the templates because it's very nuanced to me. If you do want the formula, send me a message on either Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or something like that so I can send you that formula. But in most cases, most people won't need a formula like this. So if we go onto a different project, you can see that time left formula has changed, and then below it I have the tasks. Now these are all of the tasks related to this specific project. And I can click in there and go to those tasks if I want to, but most of the time in this case I won't really need to. Then I have my notes relation, so any note that I've taken from either clipping a note from an article, an idea or anything like that, that will show here, so I can go back to that source. Then I have my areas relation, and for those of you that haven't seen my areas video, I actually use my areas database, so these relations, as my tagging system. So any project that has content marketing and YouTube as an area relation is actually tagged with YouTube and content marketing. Then I have my client relation, which is related to my contacts. So any business projects that have a specific individual in mind, the project will be related to the person, so I can go to the person dashboard from the project. Then I have my due date, and the due date matches up with the calendar, and the due date is when the project is due, i.e. the turn-in date for the assignment, the due date of the publish date for the video or the blog post. And the main reason this is actually useful is I use this due date, one, so I can see the projects in the calendar view, but also so that I can see that roll up in my task database. So if you haven't seen my task database video, if I go into a task, you can see I have a roll up of the project's due date in my task. So I don't have to go to the project's database to see when it's due. This also gives me an advantage in my dashboard. So if I go into my dashboard and look at my today tasks, I actually sort by that due date. So even though I'm viewing my task database, I am sorting those tasks by the due date of the project they are related to. So the earlier the due date of the project, the higher up the list the task goes. Then if I go into the task, I can click on the relation to the project and I can get straight back to my project's database. So we were at the due date property. Then if we go down, you can see I have a URL property. Now this isn't actually applicable to every single project I do, because some projects I don't need a URL link for. But for those in YouTube, for example, I can go into my YouTube area, make that a little bit larger so we've got more space to work with. Then you can see I have my projects database, because we're now in the YouTube area, projects database, and it's filtered for those area tags, YouTube and content marketing. And I have a videos view of all of my videos. And you can see I have a URL link to every single video that I have on YouTube. So when people are asking, what's that video, or they're asking for a link to a video, or I want to share a link to a specific video, instead of having to go to YouTube to find the link, it's already stored in my project's database. And the same thing is applicable for any blog posts and anything else that I do. So if we go back into a project, we can go down the properties. We've now got a roll-up from the task database. And what this is doing is it's looking at the done tick box, which is just a checkbox, and it's counting how many tasks are done. So for this project, I've only actually got one task, and if we scroll along, you can see I have that task is done. So one task is done, and then the other roll-up is the total, which is just counting how many tasks I have related to this project, which in this case is 1. So I've done 1 out of 1. I then have my left formula, which is just doing the total, take away the done, so 1 take away 1 is 0, so I have 0 tasks left. If I go to a project that has a few more tasks, you can see in this project I have 1 task is done, 7 total tasks, and if we go into that task relation and we scroll across, you can see one of those tick boxes are ticked and 6 of them aren't. So I have 6 tasks left. And those tick boxes are on my dashboard. So as I tick those tasks off, those roll-ups will automatically update and the left number and the progress will all be calculated appropriately. The bottom 3 properties are specific to YouTube videos. So the playlist property is basically a list of all the playlists. And what I can do is I can attach a project, i.e. a video, to that playlist. And then I have relations to the project's database itself. So I can relate a video to another video, or a project to another project. And that will create a backlink to that project. So I can see the to and the from. When I go into my YouTube area and my playlist planning, this is where I mainly use those 3 properties to their full advantage. So I can filter for that select property, filter for the playlist. I can then look at the to relation, and I can see what video is going to another video via cards, end screens, other links, and things like that. And then because I don't touch the from relation, what the from relation actually is, it represents all of the backlinks. So if I have a video going to another video, In that second video, it will say from, so you can see some of these videos don't have any videos going to them, so there are no backlinks for them. And the same things works with blog posts, so you can see some of these videos actually have backlinks from some of my blog posts, because blog posts are also projects. Now moving forwards from this, I can then use LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and link all of those project posts to anything that I've linked. So I can see in that view where I need to link more to, where I need to link less to, and how I can change those links to make sure that all of my content is shown. From a note-taking perspective, you can link different articles to different essays, to different projects, to different lectures, and there's loads of different ways you could use that system in education, but because I'm no longer really in that sort of educational environment, that side of my space has just disappeared. If you're interested to learn more about how I use Notion, make sure you check out this video over here, and I'll see you there.